Hello, Johnny.
Hello.
Mr. Ray. And Pete's got the bus out again. I bet. Anyway, we won't go into it too much, but it wasn't a very, very good start, was it?
Not really.
No, I was thinking of you, Pete, but I knew I knew you'd have a word.
I sent Cucurella a pair of boots down, and he
Oh
was
my
all right
God.
after that.
Anyway, and right, so Scotty,
Yeah.
you've got a lovely photo behind. Who's what where?
Well, the officer on the left there, his name was Mike Barber. He was a second officer. And the lady in the middle was Cherry Orchard.
There's a school round here called Cherry Orchard School.
Yeah. Well, that was her name, and she was a senior woman AP on the
Really?
Yeah. And that's me.
Well, of course it is. You look very just the same as you do now. Scotty.
Yeah, and be sure to send me the picture, Scotty. So I'll post it separate.
It was posted. It was on the.
It was posted, was it on the WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
There you go.
Well, I better put a background, hadn't I, Johnny?
That's okay, Dave. Well, I know exactly where you are.
I know. Yeah. Adjust background, blur background. Oh, and effects, right? So,
yeah.
How's the patient, David?
patient is being very patient. Thanks, Scotty. Yeah, she's doing all right. She's getting definitely more mobile, and also a little less tired, which is great. So it's 4 weeks today. Flipping heck, it's just mad. It's gone really quick, but she's doing all right. Thank you. I will pass the message on, like you sent the message as well, Pete.
Yeah.
And you, Johnny.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, all very thoughtful. And
How did she?
Ray
I'm not
would
there
have,
because I'm just getting myself a coffee. But how did she injure herself?
you see, this is it, Ray. We're talking 4 weeks now, and it's history now, in a good way.
Oh,
She fell awkwardly playing in a tennis match on literally 4 weeks ago today.
Yeah.
right.
And as well, you actually, because you mentioned skiing the other week,
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. Well, it's recommended that Pat doesn't ski in the future. Genuinely, because of the movement, apparently she will hopefully, well, she will be able to play tennis again, but not they don't recommend skiing, but I know people that have had the opera, or I know of people that have had the operation done and they have gone back skiing. So
Right.
whatever, we'll wait and see. Wait and see on that one. But oh, flipping that. There's Pat. That was when we were out there last year. Cheers, Scotty.
Actually, that's Grouse Mountain.
I was going to say, is that Grace? Honestly, I was just thinking because that's where we were together, wasn't it?
Yeah, up in that helicopter.
We did a helicopter ride, and yeah, brilliant.
On the way up, I can't remember coming down.
When were you at Grace Mountain?
Oh, flipping it. 75 or 76?
Oh, yeah.
76.
76.
76.
End of
Yeah.
world voyage. Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was the 76 worldie because the 75 was it was all right because I wanted to see what I could of the world, but I was winging in the Atlantic restaurant then, which was it was whatever. But the second year in the 76, I was in the Peacock Lounge disco. And of course, the worldie on a world cruise, that disco, you're lucky if you get 6 or 8 people in there in a night. But the hours you worked or didn't work was an absolute bonus. How about you, Colonel? Did you do a worldie?
Good question, but technically on the Oriana, it wasn't worldies. We'd go down to Aussie for 7 months, and kind of a worldie, but it wasn't a world cruise.
No.
But
But
Scotty,
did you come back a different way to the way you went down?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it probably was when you had all the different Pacific cruises. But Scotty, you were on the Pacific Princess in '76, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
That's I remember that.
Yeah, I got off the sun. I got off the Canberra.
Yeah.
And just flew out to PP.
Did you fly out as a BR there as well, Scotty, or
PRS?
So you were BR on? No, sorry, of course you were PRS on the Canberra, weren't you?
Yeah, I was a bedroom steward on a Ronce.
Yeah.
And
can you bump your chair up, Dave, please? Your computer chair, bump it up. So you.
No, Pete,
Yeah.
this is a technical request about pumping up the chair.
Yeah.
Can you give Colonel an answer?
I can pump up the volume.
There you go. Blackpool.
Zachary, you need to be a lot higher.
All right.
Perfect, Dave. Thank you very much.
No, I was bedroom steward on the Canberra.
Yeah.
For a little while up on A deck, and then I swapped over to the bars and went in the Benito Club.
Well, what a great move
with Noel. Noel, and Ollie was there. You were there.
Yeah, it was
good
fun. Good fun.
Yeah, quite a good bunch.
No, it was. It was good.
Oh, Bob, Blackpool Bob, he was there.
Blackpool Bob.
Good evening.
Yeah,
we all well?
We are. I think we are. I am. How about Pete? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I've had a bit of a cold, but nothing too dramatic.
Good. And Brendan, how you diddling?
Really good, thanks, Dave. Really good. Bit blustery down here as we've all been under a bit of bit of wind, haven't we?
There has been a big blowback. Yeah. Flipping nightmare. And Zachary is doing anything but actually appearing on the screen. Oh, there he is.
I was late. I took the dog for a walk, and I took a different route that I normally do, and went along the beach. The tide was in, which I thought there'd be. It was only in basically, I thought I'd be okay. I'll be able to walk along the beach. But what happened was the tide was too far in, and I couldn't get past the rocks. So I had to take my shoes and socks off and paddle twice. And the water's bloody freezing. And but we made it, carrying the dog.
Brilliant. Boys, if you can all put your sunglasses on, because we've got quite a big sunset coming in from Ollie Steer at the moment.
Well, he's in the Seychelles again, Dave,
he must be in the sunny Seychelles.
I thought he'd converted to be a Blackpool supporter.
The sun
Ollie!
David, can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Good evening, all.
Hello, all.
Yeah.
Ollie, I haven't seen you since Wednesday. It seems ages.
Been a long time, hasn't it, Dave?
We had a ferry, a P&O ferry, or even Townsend Torreson reunion.
Excellent.
On Wednesday in Southampton. And it was good, wasn't it, Ollie?
It was excellent, yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a few
turnout.
faces.
Good turnout, yeah. It's getting smaller every year, though.
Yeah, that tends to happen, unfortunately, as we get older.
Yeah.
I must show you this, because even though I live in Canada, see that?
Yeah.
Does anybody know what that is?
Oh, it's like a Bath bun, but it's not a Bath bun.
No.
It's a Chelsea bun.
No.
It's an Arsenal bun.
No.
It's a Blackpool Bob bun.
No. There's got to be somebody on there that knows.
Oh, hang on. Is it? Do you have
bread pudding.
It's not.
Bread pudding.
Pudding.
Spotted dick.
Bread and butter pudding.
It's not spotted dick.
No. Okay.
Do you want me to show you one?
I'm gonna.
Has he got gravy?
I'm gonna have to tell you. It's lardy cake. Lardy cake.
Lardy cake. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, what? Vardy lardy.
No, lardy.
Lardy, lardy, lardy.
I'll make it
Colin would
myself.
have known that if he wasn't up in the air somewhere.
Yeah, I'll make it
Colin
myself
Dunn.
following an English baker's recipe that I watched on YouTube, and it's made with lard that my daughter made from real pigs.
From her
Oh.
pig.
Real
Yeah.
pigs.
She got the
Real
lard
pig.
from the pig and gave it to you, Ray.
Yeah, little jars of lard. It's delicious too. Really, really good, and it doesn't taste like meat or anything like that. So
Doesn't taste like bacon.
Daughters give
Pardon?
you the nicest presents, don't they?
Doesn't taste like bacon.
yeah, no, it doesn't
Hey,
taste like bacon.
Talking
And I
about the
grew up with lardy
baking.
cake.
Sorry, but about baking. What about any news from Hilda?
Yeah, Hilda would know what it was.
She
I
sent
think he's put a couple of comments on his Facebook, but
Right.
nothing
Okay.
else.
But is it Hilda's back out in
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
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 Ollie, you remember that? Were you grouse mounting with us when we went on the Canberra?
on the
No.
Worldie 76?
No, I don't think so. No.
Didn't go up in the helicopter with us.
No.
Must have been, I can't remember who was with us though.
I'm trying to think. I have got a photograph somewhere.
Could be
no, I
Taffy
am.
or Alan Legg.
Possibly. Is Taffy still out in Paris?
I think so,
He
yeah.
said he started to head north. So I don't know whether he's got on the ferry yet or not.
Right.
No, keep away with the weather's pretty bad down here at the moment, John.
So I said to him, give it a few days and head
Yeah,
south.
calm down.
Yeah.
He'll come
Okay.
over with all the rest of the boys.
Yeah.
Gotti, I've got some pictures of going up on Grouse Mountain in 1978 with a few of us, and we took the gondola up. And when we got to the top, there was we just sort of wandered around. There's a restaurant, I think there's a gift shop and stuff like that. But there was like a wooden pier built right at the top of the mountain. And I was wondering what it was for. And there was a guy with a big backpack on the gondola. And it was summer, so he wasn't going skiing. So I thought he was going hiking or something. But he undid the backpack on that pier, and he started taking out all these aluminum poles and things. And when we came back about half an hour later, he'd assembled a hang glider out of the pack. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the very last thing, he scrunched up the pack, attached it to his belt, climbed into the hang glider, and then he stepped off this pier and sailed out. I actually was amazed because it's a sea of trees when you're up on top of Grouse Mountain back then. Anyway, I don't know if it's different now. All you could see in every direction was trees and the city in the far distance. And off he sailed. I have no idea where he landed. He must have had some spot. We finally lost sight of him.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Shoot.
the way to do
It
it.
inspired me, but I never did go hang gliding. Probably a good thing.
Hello, Taffy. Bonsoir, mon
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour.
Where are you, Taff?
Monge too.
I'm in Ypres. How do you pronounce it? Ypres.
Wipers.
How do you pronounce it?
Wipers.
Eeps, I think.
The Tommies called it wipers, Alan.
Well, where did we always used to go for the Christmas market, Brendan?
Well, there's
Just
Bruges,
north of
Bruges or Lille.
Well,
Bruges or Lille. Bruges is quite famous for its Christmas market, and that's not far from Wipers.
right. Well, the last time I went there, I thought it had gone so downhill. It was like it was crap. It was, honestly. So I came down the road to Ypres.
Yeah.
And I love it down here. So
It's lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's a fantastic town.
Were you there when the firemen played the last post?
I missed that this time, but I'm here for a couple of days, so I might go in tomorrow. But it was perishing cold in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I started to get the shakes with the cold, so the campsite I'm on is fantastic. It's only about 15 minutes walk to the gate.
Melling Gate.
Yeah, Melling Gate.
Did you get your water thing fixed, Taff?
No, but I'm managing without it. Because I've got I fill up with fresh water for cleaning dishes and that. But this site I'm on now, I've got all the facilities here. So so what I decided was I did try tightening up because I'd found where the leaks were. It's on 2 pipes going in to the sink tap.
Yeah.
You know where you
Your feeds.
And because there was, if you put water in and press the pump, even when you turn the pump off, the water was still spilling out of it. And I tried tightening them up, but I'm no good. My fingers are not good enough to get in there now and do it. But cut a long story short, I drained all the water out of the place. And I spent 2 days down in Paris on the outskirts. And I had the heaters on, and it's all nice and tidy in here now. I'm just praying some way down the line it doesn't blow out. You know what it's like, kitchens. If they get wet, you can dry them out, but there's no wood now, is there? It's all this type of stuff.
Taffy, if I was ever to experience another leak in our house, I would definitely get a Welsh plumber. Definitely.
Well,
no one knows better than a Welshman about a leak. All right.
You'd be lucky to get any plumber.
I gotta say this now because it's just come into my head. You know, I said to you, I don't know, maybe last week, I said, well, Henry VIII was fucking Welsh, right? You all laugh, but I love my history, and I just watched an episode of the new Wolf Hall. It's a wonderful series. It's the second series and final series.
Right.
And, the star of the show, what's his name? Not the one that had Thomas
Cranmer.
Oh, hang on. Cromwell.
Cromwell. Not the Cromwell that had the Civil War.
No, but
the Cromwell that was Henry VIII's right-hand man.
Yeah.
And there's a line in tonight's
episode.
And I thought I was right. He says he was talking about Henry VIII in a bad temper he was. And he said to this guy, who'd want a son of a horse thief from Wales?
Very good. Very good.
I knew I knew his father, Henry VII, had come from Wales. So there you are. See, you bet.
Don't we know?
Yeah, so he's a welcome.
No, Chris, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay, very good. How's everybody?
Okay, mate. Yeah,
good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to ask the Colonel, how did you know that Taffy's power was out? I was looking at that last night.
Well, no.
I was absolutely amazed.
The reason I said it, because obviously, I got gadgets in my house. So I could be in Antarctica, and if one of my cameras goes out or something, I get a message offline, and the power company sends you a text. And that's exactly what they did to Taffy. They sent him a text. But I think.
But you had seen that message, like.
Well, no. I've been following the news because it said 95 mile an hour winds in Cardiff, and that's right. Like, if that happened here, all our bloody trees would come down. So that's why I was concerned, Taffy. Yeah.
Well, in future, if you notice that my fridge is on the blink, would you mind letting me know?
Okay, mate.
Taffy, did you get a text on your phone from, I suppose it's the government?
It's a
about the
government
wind?
alarm call.
Yeah, alarm call.
Yeah, and I also, it's very useful. And the problem is when people are told you can join this and we will notify you, people don't join. But I do if I think it's useful to me.
All right.
And I must have joined a couple of things years ago, and I got a call 5 o'clock in the morning 2 weeks ago, waking me up in the pitch black, because I live right next to the river, saying, Mr. You're going to flood. The risk is flooding. So I was up and out, and because I know the river so well, I was up. I was on the road by about 5:30, having a look at different areas of the river, and it really was close. But this, I did. I never thought of my fridge freezer. But when John phoned me, texted me, I still didn't twig it. But I had just got a message from one of these government agencies saying, "Oh, it was the power company."
Yeah, well, yeah.
Our apologies for you losing power, but your power is now back on. And it suddenly come to me then, hang on, my fridge, all your food in the fridge, all right, it wouldn't matter too much if you lost your food, but the water would go everywhere. It would leak out. Yeah. But apparently my sister had been hotlining different people, brother-in-laws and nephews, to see what was going on, and because they wouldn't allow her out of the house, they checked it all out, and the message got back that there was no problem with my fridge. But I really didn't know. It was only because John had got in touch that my head started to work.
Yeah, because your stuff in your freezer, it will stay really cold for to 12 or plus hours, and then so you'll be good.
Yeah.
We had the same message yesterday, Taffy, and it was about 10 o'clock in the morning, and the power went. I mean, we were in the house anyway, so we knew the power had suddenly gone off, and within a minute, 2 minutes, I had a text to say from the electricity company we use that the power's off, we're working on it, and it should be back on by 1800. Well, flipping heck, from 10 in the morning till 6 at night is quite a long period.
Yes.
But fortunately, within 2 hours, it came back on, so they do it. It's good. It's good.
I got to say this now while John has gone to get a beer. But this came into a couple of years ago. I was thinking about, and I hate to bring it up, but that Trump, he was going on about rubbishing COVID, and he was rubbishing climate change. He was saying there is no such thing as climate change. He says it's just the scientists trying to wind everybody up. And I think, how can they vote him in? A man like that, you can't deny. There's disasters all over the world. Thousands of people dying through climate change.
Well, Taffy, I blame Donald Trump for your pipe bursting in your Batmobile. Definitely Donald Trump's behind that.
Well, all you guys are going to live a long. All you guys are going to live a long time, and in 10 years' time, I want you to think back to our conversation now. Well, I'll be Taffy was right
trouble is
down
that-
the ball.
Taffy, we can't remember what happened yesterday, let alone blinking 10 years down the line. Blinking.
Taffy,
Hey, but-
apparently he's in France at the Notre Dame Cathedral. So as you're in France as well,
Oh,
if you get a
yeah,
chance,
yeah.
you run him
Well,
over.
Come over and
Right,
see
him
you.
over.
Before he went to the Notre Dame, he went to the Taffmobile and disconnected Aaron's pipes on his sink. That's what he did. And he said,
okay.
"You don't like me, well, I don't like you."
I'll give you my 5 seconds. Firstly, everyone's kissing Trump's ring, right? Like he's the Pope. Like Prince William, everybody, right?
Well, that kissing his ring.
And Taffy, we felt in 2016 what the heck has happened, and now it's happened big time. It's got the whole country voted for him, except for a few of us. Yeah,
There's only a couple.
Actually, that's not true,
You
John.
and Cindy
It's
in
not
it, Johnny.
true.
well, Washington State is what you call a blue state. It's we vote for the other side. Yeah.
Can I just ask, has anybody else, apart from Bob, has anybody else got their Christmas tree up?
No. Not we've got a tree.
I think Bob's got the wrong month.
Yeah.
Might be Oscar.
Oh,
Who's that?
Bob.
Well
Hey.
done, Bob.
Oh,
Oh, flipping heck.
nice one, Bob.
So here we are, 8th of December. Hands up who's got their Christmas tree up. 8th of December.
Only Bob. Well
Only
done,
me.
Bob.
Tell ya.
Are you celebrating Christmas this week, Bob, or what?
You wimps. Yeah, get it up, boys.
We've bought a very realistic artificial one this year because we can't, then we can have it whatever.
Yeah, mine is.
We haven't put it. It's going to take us a day just to undo the flipping arms,
I
the limbs.
I bought mine from Argos last week. So I thought, fuck it, I'm putting it up.
Did
Well,
it
it is
include,
the-
did
it's
it
the
include
right
a
month,
fairy,
Bob.
Bob?
Huh?
Did it include a fairy?
No, I had to bear the fairy separately.
It's probably a Canadian Christmas tree too.
Well done, Bob.
In all the years at sea, I never had a Christmas home. In fact, I still haven't had a Christmas in England since I was 16 years old. Believe it
Oh,
or
right,
not.
you're missing out, mate. You're missing out.
Yeah.
And we used to buy when I was on the Royal Princess. Christmas always seemed to be in the Caribbean, and I used to buy Canadian Christmas trees on the dockside at San Juan, Puerto Rico, to put in my cabin. And I was about the only person that ever had a real tree in my cabin, and it actually brought people to tears. They could smell the pine needles and things like this. It reminded them of home.
Are you sure it was the smell of the pine needles?
Fairies, right?
No, that's right.
And the only Christmas I can remember at sea was on the Canberra, running around the Bonito Club trying to make a living.
Nobody ever wanted to. Nobody wanted to be
Oh, Derek.
there at Christmas.
Hey, Derek the pauper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, my first Christmas at sea, Derek, was at.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, no, it couldn't have been my first Christmas. Yes, it was my first Christmas at sea. I was in the Bonita Club with you as a PRS, and I remember I was so keen, but I know I used to get pissed as a fart, but I'd run all day, and I remember being in that stadium and running around the stadium, and I turned around. Well, I was probably half pissed, but I turned around. There was no other PRSs there. I was the only one in there. There was about 500 people in there, and I was the only PRS running around. And I could see the purser or the accommodation, some officers, because I didn't know who they were then. I'd only just started, and they were sort of saying, "Well done, boy." They were all, "Look at that boy go." I was running around like a.
I think we were probably all in the pantry.
We were all in the pantry on the piss.
Yeah. In fact, my mother and father were on that one.
Oh.
They did a Christmas cruise. We went to Dakar, I think it was.
Lovely place.
Lovely Dakar.
Yeah.
And Kenneth Williams was on the cruise.
Oh, wow. Matron.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, yeah.
And his mother.
And his mother.
And his mother was shorter than what he was.
So
Yeah.
Going back.
First time in my life, he made me feel tall.
Well, actually, there's 3 of us from the Bonito Club. I'm here now.
Going back to the Christmas trees, we're putting ours up on the 15th of December. Anybody else putting theirs up?
Why the 15th, Brendan?
Well, that's when I've been told, Dave, the decorations and the tree have to go up. So I'm told when they go up.
Right.
And I have to get it all out, and I have to climb ladders and do all this stuff.
It's on your honey-do
And
list,
that's the
Brendan, right?
15th.
Yeah. Anybody going before then?
I think we might.
Mine's going up.
We're going before then.
Mine's going up next weekend.
What date's that then?
So maybe we should have a Christmas tree.
That is the 15th. That is the 15th.
Oh,
I'm putting the lights around my house today. We do it outside the house, and then the Christmas trees going inside. Yeah. So.
When's yours coming, Chris?
Well, I'm going to put the lights up either today or tomorrow outside the house.
Oh,
we do that here because the weather's kind.
Oh, there's Hilda.
And then the Christmas trees going up this week sometime.
Wonderful. Good. Good.
And it's my wife's Christmas day, so there you go.
Midnight tonight in Goa. Christmas trees.
It was my birthday.
No.
Oh, many happy returns.
Come on, everybody.
Hang on.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hilda. Happy birthday to you.
That was our first.
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Well done, Hilda.
From midnight, I was full of surprises.
Yeah.
I've got a friend of mine and his family, sister and brother-in-law arrived today, plus another couple of friends. We've had a wonderful evening. At midnight, I knew something was going on, and they decorated my place out here without me knowing with balloons and flower petals and
Christmas
cake
tree
and all sorts of things.
Oh.
Did you get a cake?
And I'm having a big tour of the restaurant tomorrow. I've got about 21 people coming there, I think.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, well
How
done,
old are you, John?
Been quite a
How
hectic
old are you?
day. Just hang on a minute. I don't know if this friend of mine is about.
All right, let's have a look.
Anyway, good evening, gentlemen. I have got in eventually.
Hi, Steve.
Oh, hello, Steve.
It's all right. I thought you'd not notice me.
We noticed you,
Think quietly,
Steve.
I did.
Oh, for God's sake. What's she like?
Fucking oppressed.
We noticed you were late. Yeah.
I did send a note in.
This is my friend and his
Hi.
family, his sister and brother-in-law and our children are here tonight. They're staying with us for a few days.
Brilliant.
And it's been a wonderful evening. They're full of surprises.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
John,
what's your friend's name? What's his name?
This is Sujit.
Sujit.
S-U-J.
Sujit.
I-T. Sujit.
He doesn't wash. Does he wash?
People I worked with in the 70s, 80s.
Sujit. Okay.
We do this every 2 weeks. I nearly missed it tonight. They're nearly finishing, actually.
Well done, Johnny.
Your friend, very nice.
Well done, John.
Very nice. Oh, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Well done, Sujit.
Well done, Sujit.
Yes. You all come India.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're all welcome.
I thought you had a Welsh accent then, Sujit.
Very nearly. Bye, Sujit.
Bye.
Bye.
All we need now is Donut to turn up from Morocco.
Look at that.
I'm not quite as mobile as I used to be, so he's been helping me. I've known him a couple of years in actual fact, and he was here last season. And he came out as soon as I came out. He came out and joined me.
That's nice.
And helped me get the place all sorted. But been a great help to me. And his sister and brother-in-law and their 2 children have arrived this afternoon or this evening. They've travelled down from Mumbai a 14-hour drive continuously till they got here.
Oh.
They've just gone to bed.
Crikey.
They've just gone to bed.
No
And,
wonder. It's a long trip, isn't it?
It was a long trip, yeah. And not the best of roads, not the best of roads, I might add.
No.
There's always accidents along there.
It seems that you have an easier time connecting and go than you did in the UK, John.
In Broadstairs, yeah.
Yeah, it's not much better there, I must admit.
Yeah.
You've done well tonight, John.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, one clicking is in. That's great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I've had some wonderful presents. There's one I'll show you that Sujit done for me. It was, in actual fact, my mother's favourite photograph, and he's had it all redone and framed for me. I'll get it and show you.
Oh,
Okay.
Thanks, John.
Well done, John.
This is a real bonus, but I mean, he's there at the beach again. It looks wonderful.
yeah, it makes you sick, doesn't it?
I
That
know,
wave
he's
keeps
there-
doing the same thing.
he's there on
the
the
same
beach,
wave.
Dave.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
Oh, that picture.
Oh, boner
Pretty
Omi.
boy.
Romy, very
Oh,
pretty.
Varda.
That was taken just before I joined the Spirit of London in 1972.
Oh,
Oh, excellent.
yes, very pretty.
And what movie were you in on at the time, Johnny?
Oh, dear.
And this is
John,
one he
how
gave
long
me
were you on
last year. This is obviously a more recent one, but this is one he had done give me last
Oh,
year.
okay.
Oh, yeah,
That
yeah.
hasn't changed a bit, has he?
No.
I could say before and after.
Yeah.
Looks like
How
a new
long were you on the Sun Princess, John?
Yeah, I was on there up until 82, I think it was.
Yeah.
No, it was about 10 from Sun Princess from Spirit of London to Sun Princess and leave, and it was about 10 years I was on there.
Wow. And did you go straight onto the Canberra from there? Because I know I sailed with you on the Canberra.
When I came back, it was like I did a couple of reliefs on the Victoria or Sea Princess, whatever it was called at the time, and Uganda, and then the war broke out in the York Falklands, and the Uganda went down there. But I volunteered to go down on the Canberra because I was asking for volunteers. But my other bit on there was the Swiss baker Joe Bissick. I thought he would leave it, so I volunteered, but he stayed, and they didn't want me to go down there. Said I wanted to keep me where I was. So I was just doing relief on the Victoria or Sea Princess, whatever it was. And then I did, when it went trooping, I did a couple of trips down there as a relief into the Falklands. But then when I came back, the Canberra had gone into refit and had started sailing again. But from my side of it, there was very poor comments. And Maurice Onslow had me in the office and showed me some of the comment forms. He said, I want you on there to sort it out. Whatever you want, he said, just let us know you've got it. And I went on there, and before I joined, 5 of the staff had walked off and said they weren't going to sail with me. So didn't want the Princess Ideas over on the P&O ships.
Wow.
And I said, well, if that's their feeling, then
Good luck.
I don't want them anyway. So that was it.
Yeah.
I ended up staying there till the end, basically, and that was it.
Wasn't the Sea
Then I
Princess
went on
called
to
the
the Arcadia,
Console?
where I retired from there 5 years later. But yeah.
What year did you retire, John?
2000, November 2000. So I've been retired, 23 years now.
Wow, that's great.
You stayed a long time, John. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did take early retirement. I retired at 57, I must admit. But well, I was coming up to 58, but it was 57 when I actually retired. But that was in the November. But,
So the fact you brought up the Falklands, John, I got a question for like Dave. You went on Uganda, right, Dave?
I went on the Uganda during the first troop run after the war.
Yeah. So my question is, did you get any acknowledgement that you were in a war zone?
Yes, yeah.
A double
It
pay.
was, but the war zone was it wasn't active, if you know what I mean. But we actually did get a little bit of a not the total war zone bonus, but we did get a little bit extra because it could have reignited, I suppose. But
I got the full bonus, double pay when I went down there.
Yeah, same here.
Were you
It was double
83,
pay, yeah.
John? Were you in
Sorry?
January? Were you on there January 83? I'm trying to think. Did we sail together or not? I know I did it. I was
No,
there
not
with
on the Uganda,
Roger.
no. I think it
there
was
with Roger
I think
Cheney.
it was Andrew Rover was on there when I went on there.
Is there any news of Roger, by the way? Any news? Any
news of who? Sorry,
Roger.
Yes, I have a little bit of news. I haven't seen him yet, but it's not good news, I'm afraid. A friend of mine saw him. Well, Ricky actually. He was 21 back in April. I think I mentioned it. I was in his 21st birthday party, and I was asked to give a speech. But I used to take him to the beach, and Roddy used to play football with him and one thing and another. That was when he was 5 and 6 and something like that. And anyway, he saw Roger recently since I've been back out here, and said hello to him. And Roger looked. So Ricky said to him, "You don't recognise me, do you?" So he said, "No." He said, "Well, I'm Ricky. Who used to play football with you on the beach with John." John, who's John? Well, John in Colby used to work with him. Did I? Oh, yes, that's right. I remember. Apparently, this stroke he's had has affected part of his brain and he's lost a part of his memory. But I've been meaning to go on the beach to see if I can see him. I phoned him a couple of times, but his phone was turned off. So I haven't had a chance to get on the beach yet, but we will go around there. And I'll try and see him and see what's going on. But it's not, as I say,
did
not
Roger
good
come
news,
back? Did Roger come back to the UK after his?
I don't know. As I say, I lost contact with the guy that was out here. I don't know how, but his number disappeared off my book. I think I might have deleted it accidentally. But so I haven't really. That's the only news I've got through somebody else that's seen him.
Yeah.
But he's out of hospital and all that business. Then I take it.
Yeah, he's out here, so he's sort of he's a lot better, but he's not 100%, shall we say?
Right.
So he must have. I assume he travelled on his own, so he must, be able to travel around okay. But I'm only assuming that at the moment.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him. But yeah.
We appreciate the update, John.
I don't know if any of you know Alan Baker.
Yeah.
He was second cook on the Canberra in the 80s, 90s, and then he left, and then he came back as a assistant hotel manager, and eventually became hotel manager when he retired. He used to come out here, well, he still does, the last 5 years, I suppose, and rented a property. He was out here for 3 or 4 months. He was due out here the day after I arrived, and sadly he had to cancel because he's been diagnosed with cancer and is under treatment at this very moment. And been advised not to take any holidays for the next 12 months. What he's got is not curable, but it's manageable. And at the moment he's having treatment, which is being monitored, and hopefully that it will, it would get him back on his feet again, so to speak. But so that's a little bit of a shock.
Yeah,
very sad.
Sure, but John, but with all the news you've given us, at least there is some good news that it was your birthday.
Yes, wow.
So I mean,
because none of you know my age. I am
25.
actually. I'm 30. I'll be honest. I'm 32. But I've got to add 50 years experience to that.
Even better. Well done, John. Brilliant.
Well done.
Fantastic.
Yes, 82.
Well, you're looking good. Looking good there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
With the eagle still holding out.
They do say the camera never lies, so I hope it's not the camera and not you.
Yeah. No, honestly, but Ollie, how are you?
I'm all right, David. Thank you. How are you?
I'm glad you sat down. We'll start talking about it.
Ollie, what happened to the mastermind chair?
Aren't you, Ollie? Going through your orange period.
Hang on.
Where's the mastermind chair?
Oh, look at that multicolored.
Look
there
at
they
that.
are.
Look. Yeah.
Well, Ollie, what did you do? Did you run out of paint?
I'm going to treat that with contempt it deserves. I can only nick small paint pots at a time, you see.
You know those tester pots are doing quite a good size area.
I think your colour scheme is fantastic, Ollie.
Yeah, thank you.
He's a bit careful with his pennies. He bought 37 tester pots, hoping to cover the whole wall. But
it didn't work.
The tester pots cost more than the bloody.
They do.
I know. Tell Ollie that, Ray. Tell Ollie that.
Yeah, but I told you I stole all the paint. I didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Johnny, delete that bit. Delete that bit.
Yeah.
But that'll be
Ollie,
hard.
it looks very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
Thank you.
What would you call that? Sunset orange or?
It's called tangerine.
It's called blood orange. It's blood orange.
It's called Blackpool Bob.
It's called tangerine. We have no orange, tangerine.
If Bob had that as a backdrop, you'd understand it. But Ollie, you're a blind lad. I mean, what's going on?
Hang on,
this is Lilish.
Hello.
Lidish.
Hello.
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 This is Lidish. This is CJ's nephew.
Oh my goodness. Wonderful.
He was out singing Happy Birthday tonight.
Oh, nice.
Well done.
Very talented little boy. He's made some very nice drawings.
Very good. Do you? Did good drawings. Well, he's just deleted himself. He's airbrushed himself out. Oh no, he's back
America, Alaska.
What a shame. No, then. Here's one for you.
Oh no,
what's he dragged up now?
No, then. Here's one for you. Unfortunately, I can't get the whole photograph in. So you got to guess who this is by the lally.
Well, guess
let me go.
the cards.
I haven't got my hearing aids in. I'll have to go put them in. I can't hear.
Get the cards, yeah.
Hang on a minute.
Own the carts and lollies.
Well, it's going to be Palm Island.
Yeah.
Yes.
It has to be on Palm Island, right?
You're correct, yes.
Is it a lady?
No. It's a crew member. And he's 82 years of age.
What, today?
Oh, Hilda.
Well, is that Hilda's carts?
Father, wait till he comes back. That's Father.
Is a volunteer little picker.
Actually, it's a great photograph, but it's set wrong and I can't get it on.
Nothing's burning.
Yeah.
No. I just was drying the. Drying the cast iron.
John, can you recognize who this photograph is? The Bona carts and the Bona lallies.
Alan, we don't really tend to look at those sort of areas. We just look at the picture of the face, and that's how we identify.
Can you guard the carts behind Taffy? But also, Chris Johnson's got a UFO.
That's my light fixture.
There again.
John, that picture is you.
They're your carts.
That's behind me. The photograph behind me. It's only from your neck down now. I can't get
the one with the blue bag.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I'll send that photograph to you, John.
Yeah. To send it to me, and I'll put it up. Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
He's volunteer
Palm
little
Island.
picker.
Yes. Bona lallies, dear.
We got two pictures of John on the beach.
That was probably when we was clearing up the beach.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I'll send that photograph to you, John.
Okay, thank you.
Well, send it to me as well, Taffy, so I can do the whole thing.
No, that's who I meant. Yeah.
I've got a picture. I've got a picture of Palm Island of the very first lifeboat that we lowered down. The very first trip to Palm Island, when we organised the very first time Princess Cruises went there. And Peter Story was in charge of putting the bar together. I think Phil Butcher was there. We all had those T-shirts. And the picture, I'll have to post it. The picture is of everybody in the lifeboat going down the very first.
And at that time, we had to land all the sunbeds and everything because there was nothing there. We had to land the whole lot, and then it was left there until the end of the season, and it all had to come back on board again.
You know, I went out to Palm Island before any of you.
Yeah.
I did the recce trip out there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. We flew from Martinique to Union Island, and then we had this guy meet us with his boat and took us over to Palm Island. And he also barbecued over there. He had some fish, fresh fish, barbecued that for us all. It was like
that was John.
John, yeah, John. I just trying to think of his surname, John something or other, wasn't it? Because I did an interview. Do you remember, John? We did an interview with a lobster sat in a chair next to me, and I was asking it questions. Do you remember that for Channel 4 News?
I remember that the person who was responsible for Palm Island had a beautiful speedboat. Is that who we're talking about?
Yeah, he owned it. He bought it from the government in Union Island.
And also this lobster sat in a chair next to me in a bar. In the bar or something.
Anyway, when we went over there, it was mainly to choose the place for the anchor point. We had to do all echo soundings and that kind of thing.
Who did you go with, Chris?
Well, we had the cruise director, we had the chief officer, I think maybe the staff captain too.
And did they want you there to take lots of photographs to
exactly? Yeah.
I think it was Stan Jameson, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Stan Jameson. I think chief officer was either Mike Gold or Terry
Russell.
Terry Russell.
Yeah.
Can't remember whether it was Mike Gold or Terry Russell. I know the chief officer was with us, one or the other. And cruise director, I think, was Chris Chapman calls him Motormouth, the Kiwi guy, John Mercer.
John Mercer.
Yeah, John Mercer.
And what did you fly? You say you flew from Martinique?
We flew from Martinique to Union Island in like a 6-seater Cessna or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then we took this boat over. We got met by this boat, and we went to Union Island on the boat. And
then you managed to get back to Martinique in the day on that one day.
Yeah, exactly. We were in Martinique.
A bit like Death in Paradise.
John was also.
I never actually went there with the ship because I left the ship by the time the season before.
No.
I actually went there with the ship. Just went there on the recce trip.
John was also the guide for the CIA. He told me when the communists were invading Grenada and we stopped going there because we started the buses getting held up at gunpoint, things like this. And then we were still going to Palm Island, and then the US troops invaded Grenada, and John told me that he was the guide for the CIA. He took them around at night in a boat to show them where the troops should land and things like this, because he was one of the few locals that knew the area.
Before we stopped going to Grenada, Sammy Bradford called me and told me to come up to the bridge with my longest lens that I had. He wanted me to take some pictures so they could send them to the London office of stuff they were unloading from a Cuban ship in Grenada, and there was all kinds of arms being offloaded.
Yeah.
And then he said, point your camera up to the fort up there. He said they put some anti-aircraft guns up there since last week.
Yeah.
And so I took pictures of that.
Dude.
That could have been around the last time we went there, because we went it was weekly cruising. We went there a couple times, and a bus got held up. The passengers on the bus got robbed, and like a tourist bus from the ship. It was one of the day tours, right? Because it was advertised as a spice island and stuff like that. And it was getting more hostile even when you walked ashore. The locals were harassing you a lot when you went, if you just went ashore and stuff.
Didn't the same thing happen in Trinidad? We stopped going to Trinidad.
I think we stopped going to Trinidad because they had a yellow fever outbreak there.
No, they had a lot of hostility from the local people there, especially towards white women. They were like coming up to them and like slapping their legs and things like that.
Well, was that Montego? I think that might have been Montego Bay.
It was, we only went to, when I was joining the Sun Princess, we only
Jamaica.
went to Trinidad 2 or 3 times and then stopped going there.
Well, 2 things there. Trinidad, first trip to sea. Went to Trinidad.
Yeah, me too.
We went ashore, me and this guy went ashore, and we saw all these people running around and he had shots and all that business. And this guy said, "What are you doing walking down the streets?" He said, "Get back to the ship." He said, "Now, they started a revolution."
Yeah.
We had to get back to the ship and sail. I was on the
We started going to Grenada when we stopped going to Trinidad. That was on a Wednesday, I think, on the cruise.
Yeah.
On Wednesdays was
Palm
Trinidad.
Island,
the first season I was on the Sun. And then
when the Americans invaded, I was on the bar on the Palm Island that day. When the American troops landed on Palm Island.
Right.
And they came over and said, "We want to see your boss. Who's your boss?" So they radioed over to the ship. They said, "Excuse me, sir, we've got some American troops on the beach." And apparently he said, "Send them over to the ship." So, no, he said, "Send the boss over to the ship." And apparently he said, "Take his weapon off him."
I remember the one vivid memory for me was after the invasion had been going on for a few weeks or so, some of the top brass from the US came to Palm Island and they came on the Sun Princess for dinner. Like, I can't remember who the captain was. Maybe it was Sammy Bradford. I don't remember. But they came over in a launch and they had posted one of the US privates or whatever. I don't know what his rank was. He's a young guy and he was on the gangway with his rifle and his sidearm, dressed in military fatigues, and I was on gangway duty. And he and I were about the same age. And I remember he was I think I would have been 18 and he was 18 too. And all he was talking about was that he hadn't really seen much action and he was hoping to go to Beirut next. And I was thinking how different our lives were, right? Here's me just thinking about going down to the pub, the Crew Bar at the end of my shift or something. And he wanted to go and shoot people.
Well, we didn't go back to Palm Island for quite a while after that invasion.
Yeah.
It was a long time before we went back.
Yeah. Yeah, it was maybe it was after it was over. There were still, I think they came over to Palm Island and then came out on a lifeboat and they had landed in a big helicopter because I remember seeing big army helicopters flying around.
Well, on the day they invaded, they landed on a helicopter on Palm Island.
Oh, did they?
About 20 or 30 odd troops piled off, all armed to the teeth.
Yeah.
Basically, the guy said, "What the hell are you doing here?" I said, "We're having a party."
They were gate crashing the party, yeah.
Well, the next thing, they went on board, spoke to the skipper, their boss, and next thing we got a message, right, said, "Clear up, everybody out, we're going." So we had to get everybody back on the ship and go, basically.
What did they substitute for Palm Island after you didn't go back there? What did they substitute
Palm
for Palm
Island? It's
Island
my
after that?
birthday. I celebrated a birthday on Palm Island one term, and Peter Pratt was the deputy purser time, and of course we always went on the first launch, and we used to have a steel band in those days. Well, he got them to play Happy Birthday. Well, I think for the whole time we was on Palm Island that day, they just kept playing Happy Birthday. We couldn't stop them. And anyway, I'd done up a special icebox with smoked salmon sandwiches and all the bits and pieces, you know, what we normally have on a regular day. And Bill Butcher had taken a couple of bottles of champagne and the plastic champagne
Okay.
with the screw on bottom. And once we'd sorted all the passengers out, we went round further round, and I think was it Rob Blackman might have been there as well then. There was about half a dozen of us all together, including Peter, and we were there with our smoked salmon sandwiches, all the bits and pieces, and drinking champagne out of these plastic glasses.
Not a bad life, eh? Not a bad life.
And the
Well,
passengers
somebody had to
wondering,
do
where
it.
do you
Oops,
get that
hello,
from? We didn't
hello.
get,
I see the
we
traffic
didn't
lights
get
have
smoked
appeared.
ham sandwiches and
Traffic
shit.
lights
Where
are
did
up.
you get that?
No, don't, Johnny.
Yeah, I must say that I got my wonderful Christmas card from Oscar and his handwritten letter, which does every year, I'm sure for you guys as well.
Yeah.
And Ray, he apologized for the lack of Oscar tales, and he suggested that Roy, meaning you, should continue doing your stories because you've got so many.
Yeah. Now that would be interesting to actually get cartoon stories to go with the storylines, Ray.
Yeah.
I just posted 2 pictures on the chat. Hope I post some on the right chat.
Yes, you have. I've got it.
Is there 2 pictures there?
Yeah. They've come through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
are.
first.
Oh,
That's the first.
doing the limbo.
That's the first trip to Palm Island. The one in the lifeboat is for sure. I don't know about the other one because.
Oh yeah.
That's Peter's story. Look at Peter's story there.
Yeah.
Wow, flipping heck.
Who's that in the
I've got
middle?
a few
Right?
of those
in the
actually.
middle, right?
Oh, Ray, have you sent them to? Oh, you've got them, Johnny. You can put them on.
Yeah, I got them. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Right.
All right.
How did Peter's story last so long?
Oh,
I don't know.
I've seen him.
He actually
ships.
was not doing very well when I knew him on the Royal. After I'd left the sea and went back, he was still there, and he was suffering from alcoholism in a big way.
I don't know what it was on, or whether it was a Ronce or Canberra. He came back in Panama, and he was in bits, blood pouring out of everything.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I think he's dead now, isn't he, Peter?
Yeah.
Has anybody? I've confirmed that because.
Oh yeah.
Someone said that he'd had a massive heart attack, but he'd survived. But then I heard nothing more. I don't know.
Oh. Right, I'm gonna have to say good night, gentlemen.
And you, Bob.
Okay.
We'll all give a wave. We'll
soon.
all give a wave, and best to Oscar as well, and to all. And
Yeah.
John, enjoy the rest of your birthday.
Well, there's more to come tomorrow.
Yeah.
Enjoy, John.
Will do.
No.
It's good
No,
to
no,
see you
guys,
all.
I'll try and get in next time in 2 weeks.
Hey, done well.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers, Chris.
Cheers,
Ray.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey.
Have a
Bye.
good week.
Sun